Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Talking Bullion Live. How's everybody doing tonight? How are you, Mrs. Talking Bullion?
Great, great. I'm glad that we have the opportunity to come online again and chat with our special guest and interact with the folks that are joining us.
Yes, Mr. Zeke is joining us tonight. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Zeke?
I am blessed. I am happy to be here. It's nice to see all the people over on the chat side. And I'm just glad to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. You know, you joined us in our Christmas special back on December 20th, and you had so much great stuff. You were really engaging. We wanted to get you back on because we felt like we kind of cut you a little short that day. So I know we stayed on a little bit later that night, but, you know, you had some really good information between your pouring and coin roll hunting. So we just thought it'd be cool if we got you back on and just basically just had another little chit chat.
Yeah.
And see how you're doing. So let's go ahead and say hi to some people out in the chat.
Yeah.
So hello there, Mailman, Off-Grid Power. Off-Grid Power joined out there a little while ago. So did the Mailman. So we appreciate you guys joining tonight.
Thanks for joining.
Then there's DW. Hello, DW. Metal Stacker. Mr. Zeke, you can see the chat, can't you? Can you say hi to a few people for us?
Sure can. I see Off-Grid Power and Barbara Carbone, Value Hunter. We've got Michael Mullins.
Hey, Michael.
Over there.
Yeah, Michael had a win from us last week, and it looks like he got his gall win. So awesome, Michael. Glad you received it.
Cool.
Very cool.
I don't know, Mr. Zeke, did you say hi to Value Hunter? And yeah, Barbara, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Value Hunter. That's a good title.
It really is. Yeah, Value Hunter is a supporter of my channel. I appreciate him joining us and for the live stream, and I appreciate his support. So thank you, Value Hunter, and everybody else that's out there as well. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you coming along and spending your Monday night with us.
Gold Silver gave you a red rose, it looks like.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
That's awesome.
So,
I never figured out how to do the little, emojicons on the side chat.
Well, right below your icon where you can type something in, there's a little face there. I think if you click on that, you can see all the emojis. Or if you type in a colon and then start typing something, it'll pop up. But yeah, people like to use the
South Texas Preppers here.
Hey, STP.
Hey, how's it going, STP? Appreciate you joining us tonight. We had STP on a week or two ago, and he was a great guest as well. So thanks for.
I can't say STP because when I say STP, I think of Stone Temple Pilots. So I have to say South Texas Prepper.
What about the STP that used to be an additive for your car? Do they still make that stuff?
I don't know, but man, that really takes me back.
Yeah, that kind of put a little age on me, didn't it?
I remember my dad swearing by that. Oh, you got to put this in the oil because it, it's going to save your car.
Yes, right.
I don't know if it did or not, but it certainly, put money in their pocket.
Yes, it did. It was always being advertised.
And they sponsored a NASCAR car, I think.
Yeah, they're probably still around. In fact, STP says STP still uses STP. So
I guess it's available.
So
I apologize. Let me apologize to everybody who's listening. If you hear me sniffling a little bit, it's just because I got a little bit of a head congestion. So, but I'm okay. I'm sipping my tea and I'm eating my crackers. But if I sniffle, I apologize.
Oh, you sound good on our end.
Yeah,
Big bank, Lil Bank.
Big bank, Lil Bank. I just sent you out some stickers. Big Bank, Lil Bank. I got them in the mail, or I think Saturday. I sent you an email about that. That's right. You responded. So yeah, be looking forward to those heading your way. So, Mr. Zeke, why don't you tell us what you've been up to lately and maybe give us a little insight as to what you got showing. I got your camera up on the screen, and maybe you can let some people know what you've been up to and what you got there on your table, on your bench.
Yeah, so I have 3 different benches. I have the actual pouring bench, which is where, if you've seen the videos, you see the actual furnace and I'm actually pouring. Then I have the workbench where all the stamping takes place. And then I have this bench, and this is sort of home base where I watch, this is where my computer's at. So this is where I watch, YouTube videos or stuff like that. And so things tend to congregate on this bench more, and it's sort of an assortment of things. You'll, at any given moment, you will see little toys like this guy here, which I couldn't resist on Amazon, and it doesn't work as well as I thought it would. And then you'll find things like staple foods, like because nothing goes better on crackers than pasteurized cheese snack. That's recommended by my cardiologist.
I'm sure it was.
And then there's an assortment. There's always an assortment of silver on the bench. Anything from foreign coins, a Balboa. If I find a coin at work that I find especially attractive, I will grab it, and I will definitely see if I can get that to focus, because that's one of the prettiest coins I think I've ever seen. Is that focusing at all?
No, it's not really grabbing hold of it. Not sharp and crisp, but looks pretty nice. Now, where is that one from?
That's a Panamanian coin. Okay. That's a 1947. I think I know what I can do. I will take a COA on the backside.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And see if that helps. See if that grabs better detail. No.
Oh, yeah. No, it did.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Perfect.
So
wow.
I grabbed that from work just because I think she's gorgeous. I mean, that's just a fantastic example of foreign bullion.
Oh, yeah.
Foreign coinage. I like foreign coinage. I've got about 8 books full of foreign coinage. Over here, we've got a adheres round that I picked up from work. And I picked this up because it's adheres is in Hanau, Germany. And my wife taught there in Hanau for the 4 years that we lived in Germany. And so that had some sentimental aspect to it. So, and then there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, you've got some stuff I found coin roll hunting.
Cool.
64 Kennedy that I was doing some toning, and I went ahead and dipped this in liver of sulfur and then brushed it just for giggles, because it's just junk silver, so it's not like this is a collector piece or anything, but that toning really added some depth to it. And then that brush finish, I thought came out cool. So, but there's just, all kinds of stuff here. There's a bag full of 90% silver. I have a friend that does coin rings, and he sends me his punch outs and has me convert them into ingots or stuff that he gives away to friends. And so there's that. There's all kinds of stuff, and you never know what's going to end up on this part of this particular bench.
Hey, let me say hi to a few people that's joined us. Hey, Steve Rice, thanks for joining. He's saying hi to Mrs. TV as well.
Well, hello.
And Silver Ripples, hello there. Thanks for joining us. There's a couple other that joined us up above.
Clever Coin.
Yeah. Hey, Clever, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. NATV. Hey, how you doing tonight? Thank you. Philip Quinn. Hi, Philip. Thanks for joining us tonight.
It's so neat because so many of these names I don't recognize, and so it's a chance for me to branch out of my little cozy comfort zone and meet new people.
Yeah, so we were talking a little bit earlier about you know, all the subs you have. You have a pretty respectable 2,300 plus subs, which is pretty cool. But you were also talking about, I think previously, and I know that you know, we may share information we shared before, but I know a lot of other people weren't here so well the first time. So why don't you give us your thoughts a little bit there, if you would, Mr. Zeke, on all your subs and how you feel about them. And then also, I think last time you talked about how funny it is. You have over 2,000 subs, but a lot of times when you release a video, you're lucky if you get a couple hundred views. So what's your thoughts on that?
It's kind of a conundrum. The sub thing, you know, when I started on YouTube, I started because I was watching Hi Ho Silver, and we kind of got to be friends. And I thought, you know, I needed an outlet for my hobby, and I thought, well, I'll share it with the YouTube community, and if anybody's interested to watch, and if not, you know, it doesn't do me any harm. It's sort of therapeutic, and so, and it kind of caught on, and I got into this real desire, or I'll even use the word lust for subs. I had to have subs. I had to have the more subs, and the more subs, the better, because that meant I was somebody. Man, if I had subs, I was somebody.
You were somebody.
I had arrived if I had, you know, 500 subs. I decided, okay, man, if I can get 500 subs, then I am somebody. And I kind of, at a certain point, attached my self-worth to the number of subs that I had gotten. And once I hit that, it was sort of anticlimactic. 500 kind of came and went. And I did a few giveaways, you know, to try and draw in subs. Mm-hmm. Hey, 333 Collector, he's been with me for a long time.
Yeah.
But and then I realized that I had kind of lost track as to why I was doing my videos in the first place. I was doing them for myself, not for anyone else. And I just let go and just stopped paying attention to the number of subs that I had. And like right now, I couldn't even tell you how many subs I actually have, because
2318. Not that I looked or anything. Are
you serious?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 2319. Maybe you picked up one since you've been on the live stream. Over 2,300.
Well, I need to go over here and like this live chat then. There.
Thank you.
But no, I honestly, I had no idea that I had that many. I knew that it was over 2,000, but I just focused more on the content of the videos. And I figured, you know, if people were interested, they'd watch. If they weren't, they wouldn't. And I can honestly say, without, you know, any hesitation, I don't know 2,300 people on YouTube. I know I don't. I mean, Silver Ripples apparently just subbed me. Thank you, Silver Ripples. I appreciate that. And if you comment on the videos, I promise you I will do everything I can to reply. Now, that's one thing that I take very seriously. I know a lot of people who make videos and people comment and they never respond. You know, there's, you know, 150 comments on their videos and not a single response. And I really try. Pre-33 Collector, I don't know 23 people. I always felt it my responsibility to respond if someone made a comment. I felt like and I still feel this way, that I owe it to them. If they watch the video and they make a comment, then I've made a commitment to them, unspoken, that I'm going to respond to their comment. And Armando from the vault, who is talking? Really nobody. It's just a guy in his garage.
We have Mr. Zeke with us tonight, Armando.
But I feel like there's a reciprocal obligation that when you post a video and people take the time to watch the video and comment on it, that you've kind of entered into a contract with them that you're going to respond to their comment.
Yeah.
And so I don't have as much time, which is probably why I don't post as many videos as I used to, because I don't have the time to respond to all the comments. I don't know how the people with 10,000 or 2 million subs respond unless it's their full-time job. So
yeah, you're right about that. It is hard to keep up with all the comments, and I try to, like you and others, try to comment to everyone that I get, because I appreciate them taking the time to watch and comment. But it can be time consuming, but
yeah,
something I want to do, though,
And it's important. I think it's important to make the comments, the responses personal. I've made a lot of friends, and I've learned a lot about these people through them either purchasing pours I've done, or trading pours with someone, or getting to know them, and things that are going on in their lives. As I'm sure you guys have people that more about their lives than most people would know. And I really try to make the responses personal, because I want them to know that I'm not just copying and pasting a generic response. There's Silver Mac. Hey, Silver Mac, it's good to see you, brother.
Hey, Silver Mac.
But I think it's important to communicate on a personal level with people. The world is a giant place, but it's a tiny place thanks to technology. So now I'm going to eat a cracker with some nutritious easy cheese on it.
All right, and I'll set you up for the next question while you're getting a little snack there. So, as part of the subs we were just talking about, and I don't think I've noticed you monetizing, so I don't know if you'd qualify, but you certainly have the subs. So how do you feel about monetizing, and do you think you'll ever do that as part of your YouTube routine that you're doing?
Okay, that's a fantastic question. Thank you for asking that, because I have very mixed opinions on that. I did monetize for a short while. And I did it because I thought, hey, you know what? I can make money.
Mm-hmm.
I can make money off of this YouTube gig, and it's money for something that I like to do, and yay. And I don't monetize anymore. I actually did. I made a whopping $180.
Whoa.
I know, right? And it was deposited into my account, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at this, $180. And then I started watching other videos, and I'm having to skip ads, and I'm having to skip ads in the middle of the video, halfway through the video, at the end of the video, at the beginning of the video. And it was so frustrating to me that I made a conscious decision that this is not how I'm going to make a living. This is not how I'm going to, if I want to boost my income, I can find another way to boost my income than, I'll be a Lyft driver, or I'll be a Uber driver before I'll monetize my videos again. Because I don't want my viewers to have to skip ads, or, right in the middle of, right at that climactic pouring moment, all of a sudden it's an ad for a Nissan, whatever.
Right.
Well, it kind of fits in with your whole perception of your purpose and reason for starting the YouTube channel, so that you could share your interest with others and find others that are, interested in those types of things too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. You are spot on. That is exactly right. The purpose of my channel was not to, get rich, or who's that? I'm not going to mention his name, but I go on so many videos, and the opening ad is this guy pulling up to his house and talking about how this is his house, and he takes vacations all the time, and And if you just follow this simple blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, how badly do I want to watch this video? Because this is just, not why I'm on YouTube in the first place. Now, having said that, I want to qualify my statement, because I bear no ill will to the folks who are trying to make a living on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, that's to each their own. Doesn't bother me. If I want to skip, I'll skip them. Sometimes I watch the ads so they can, make a little money. That's how I can support the channels. But it doesn't bother me. Whatever,
Ravenous Treasure, he knows exactly who I'm talking about. He's like, he has Lamborghinis in his garage too.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi to Ravenous Treasure. I haven't seen him out here in a while. And how you doing, Rav? I hope everything's fine. And say hi to David Carlisle. Thanks for joining us, David.
Hey, David. It's good to see you. But so, it's just one of those things that's a fantastically complex question, because everybody has their own motives for doing what they do. And my motives have always been just to be part of a community and help support the community and, do what I can to help the people in the community and just share a passion I have. And it might not even be silver. I've done videos on other topics like shooting or knives or, wristwatches. There's no telling what a video might be on, but the majority of it is on bullion of some sort, whether it be an unboxing, a pouring, or a, just a coin I picked up. But that was the catalyst for the whole channel to begin with. And I've met so many wonderful people, and I'm very humbled to be part of the community. And it is a community. We lost a member of the community just recently, in Scotland, a dear friend of mine. And a lot of people know him as, his channel is Big Lori. And Ian passed away in his sleep, and the community came together and did some amazing something. I mean, I've poured a few kilo bars for the community, for members in the community who were ill, but this absolutely, I mean, I couldn't even watch the Mike GPO, who's a friend of mine in Canada. He did a video announcing how much the community as a whole had raised, and a lot of us pourers donated pours that were auctioned off. The community raised $8,000 for his widow and his son.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's like, that to me, and we're talking about someone I've never even met. I talked to him a few times on live chats. I sent him some pours. He sent me a tube of Scottish shillings one time as a gift. But this is a complete stranger in the sense of the traditional face-to-face, sit down and have a cup of tea or coffee or excuse me, scotch or whatever you're into. But for all intents and purposes, in the traditional sense of the word, a stranger. And the community came together and did that for a widow and an 11-year-old son of someone who we all put value in. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing. And that's why I like, excuse me, the YouTube community that I'm part of.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I've been on YouTube less than a year, and I've met, not physically, but I really consider so many of these people that are out here tonight and other people just part of my family, part of the community. I mean, you can always count on them to lift you up when you're feeling down, and it's just a wonderful place to be, to hear positive comments about your work and what you're doing, and I just think it's really cool. It's really a really great place to be, because the videos I'm making, I'm passionate about, and I love doing it, and I love that people receive it well. And same with like your pouring and the things you do, Mr. Zeke. It's nice to be able to express yourself and do what you love, and then have people enjoy it as well.
It really is.
Sorry, I snuck another cracker.
That's okay. In the meantime, we'll say hi to Kevin Rose. I saw that Kevin just joined us. So thanks, Kevin, for stopping in tonight. We appreciate it.
Yep. You've got 21 people over there.
Yeah, cool.
That's awesome. That's a good group of folks right there for a Monday night.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody joining us. Just having a little chit chat and having fun.
Ravenous Treasure's absolutely right. He says, agree wholeheartedly. I consider some of my besties people from YouTube and never met them. Yeah, I mean that's just it. It's like I have a dear friend in sunny Manitoba, Mike GPO. If you haven't seen his channel, check him out. He absolutely just one of the nicest guys I think I've never met. And we have talked so many times, and probably will never meet face to face, but I will consider him a lifelong friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's amazing. You know, technology. And Armando from the Vault is absolutely 100% spot on. Regardless what you say, there are a few out there just for the money.
No doubt about it. There's some in every crowd.
And that's true in any format like this. You know, there are going to be opportunists who see it as, and it's, you know, the creators of YouTube probably never imagined it would become what it is. I think it's wonderful on a global level that, you know, we can talk to, you know, we can talk to people from all over the world, just like right now. I mean, right now we could have people in this chat from, and I've been in chats with people from Tasmania and Germany and Canada and Mexico and the US all at the same time in the live chat.
What an amazing opportunity to get to know people that, you know, travel would have had to be required in the past.
Yeah, and you would have only gotten to talk to them, just that one person. Right. You know, I have a wonderful friend. I consider him a dear friend in Tasmania, who, you know, we talk from time to time via email because he doesn't do much on YouTube. But, you know, we met on YouTube, got to be friends on YouTube, and it evolved into communicating via email. And that's just so cool. And it all started with a common affinity for precious metals.
Yeah, you know, I was talking one day to somebody and I thought, you know, it is pretty cool, but what if you had to explain this to somebody from outside the community? So most of you know that I've had Backyard Bullion make me some stuff, and he's in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So just imagine if I sent him some money to do some work for me and something happened, right? And so you're talking to somebody and you're going like, so you sent this guy some money. What's his name? I don't know. Well, where does he live? I don't know. What's his phone number? I don't know. So you just felt the need to send this person that you have no idea who he is.
You sound like an idiot.
And I'd be like, yeah, I did. But because we trust our community, it's normal to us. But I just thought one day from the outside looking in, that might seem a little weird, you know?
It would. And there are people who, you know, who do take advantage of that. There have been people in the past who've taken advantage of it. I poured a kilo bar for an individual who took advantage of it. Oh. And I had a lot of people come back to me and they were like, you know, I never made a comment about it in any of my videos. People were putting up videos left, right, and center, you know, oh, they wish they knew where he lived. They'd go after him, blah, blah, blah. And I had somebody ask me, you know, why I never made a comment in a single video about it. And I said, well, because I poured that bar out of love. And that has nothing to do with the individual that I poured it for. It has to do with my intentions for pouring it, which seems like a foreign concept to a lot of people these days. But I poured it. The community came together, sent me silver, because the community was genuinely concerned for this individual, unaware that they were taking advantage of the situation. But it didn't matter to me that they took advantage of the situation, because I wasn't pouring it for any notoriety or for anything to do with me. I was just doing it out of love for another fellow human being. And I think that's something that is very present in this community, is a common love for human beings in general. I don't hear a lot of racist comments. I really can't think of a racist comment that I've heard in a video in this community. I can't think of disparaging. I mean, there have been little feuds, but you know, it's there's only one or two colors in this community. One is silver, one is gold. I mean,
there you go.
That's you know, and then yeah, we do go off on our own little interests that not everybody in the community is interested in, and that's fine. You know, I've made some religious comments in some of my videos, and you know what? If that rubs somebody wrong, that's on them, not on me. You know, the mailman's absolutely right. Families sometimes fight. I like that. That's spot on.
Yeah, but overall, we all get along really well. We all understand each other has, you know, different interests, and we tick in different ways. But you know, we don't have to get offended. You know, in our political world, so many people are offended, and they just can't get along, have division. It's okay that somebody else doesn't think like I think. It's okay. They can still be my friend. They can still be my brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's okay. I love the difference in people. I think that's what makes the world a great place to be in. You know, I don't want a bunch of robots all thinking and feeling the same way all the time, you know?
We're not here for sycophants. Everybody's their own person. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes. It's like, you know, a perfect example. I absolutely abhor this coin.
Okay. Yep. You could send it to me if you don't like it.
I absolutely abhor Morgan silver dollars. I think the peace dollar is a much more beautiful coin. I think it's a more beautiful model. I think it's a prettier coin. But does that mean that anybody I see who posts a video about how much they love Morgan dollars and they're putting together a collection of them, that I immediately dislike that person? No, absolutely not. Because I actually now, through seeing other people's love for this coin, have developed an affinity for these coins.
Cool.
Now, does that mean I'm going to run out and put together a complete set of these? No. But my feelings on this coin have actually changed through the influence of other people's love for this coin. And so, you know, there's an evolution that can take place in watching other people's videos as well.
You better watch the chat over there, Mr. Zeke.
I know. all kinds of volunteers to you know, take that off my hands. I appreciate that. See, and that's the kind of love I'm talking about. Everybody's there to support you and to help you out when you need to get rid of silver.
That's right.
Well, why don't we take a moment here to do a giveaway? So
Sounds good.
Got a couple giveaways tonight, and the first one.
Morgan away.
Pardon?
I said we're not giving that Morgan away.
No. You're good on that side.
So what do you have, TV?
So I've got a couple giveaways. First one's going to be a 40% Kennedy, a 1968. And I've also got a 10th ounce silver round. And let me see if I can show you. So I don't have my regular camera set up, so let me move over to this. I mean, everybody knows what a
I just cashed in a bunch of 40%. I show one for you.
Yeah, so we'll let it come up on the screen here. So I can send you a couple stickers, and then it doesn't look very good on the screen, but it got a 40%er there. So let's go ahead and just.
What year is it?
It's a 1968.
Nice, good year.
Yeah, so no, Yankee, I'm not going to ask too hard of a question because I know I've asked a few that's kind of driven a few people crazy. But
Is there any math? That's what people want to know. Is there any math?
But I do have a question, and I'll be pretty easy. I know if you just want to flip back my videos, you'll get it pretty quick. So a couple of videos ago, I posted a video where I picked up a tube of American Silver Eagles and one other coin. What coin was that? And I need the year and the type of coin.
Oh, good question.
So it was a tube and then one other silver round or coin. So go ahead. Which one was that?
Silver Ripples says a 17 Libertad.
Silver Ripples is correct.
Wow.
It was a 2017 Libertad.
Hey,
See, people say I ask hard questions, but so often it's guessed on the first person. So on our screen, Silver Ripples was first, even though I see Silver Mac and Ronnie Joe have.
Oh, they were out on his tail.
They were.
Very close.
So Silver Ripples, go ahead and send me your address. I'll send you out a couple of stickers and a 40%er. And thanks for playing along, guys. I appreciate that. And sorry it was so easy. It's usually nice to get a few guesses out of it, but anyway.
Yeah.
I'm thinking going back to the math question next. I'm sorry, but
does anyone on the chat side have any questions for me?
Yeah, that's good. Now, as you know, Mr. Zeke pours his own bars and does some really cool stuff. He also, one of the things I'm going to plan to hit him up here pretty soon later is on coin roll hunting. He's got some great advice on that as well. So, does anything have any else specifically to ask Mr. Zeke? Bubba wants to know, what's your favorite type of silver to stack?
Constitutional.
Oh, you're my man. Love it too.
Constitutional. I have a goal this year. I want to accumulate $500 in face value.
Awesome. That's a pretty nice goal.
Right now I'm at about $240.
Where do you buy it from typically?
Work.
Okay.
I work at a diamond and gold buyers that we also handle bullion. So you probably get it for some pretty good pricing then. So that's really cool. Yeah, I try to pick up 2 rolls of dimes a week.
That's great. That's great.
That's my goal for the year.
So do you have a particular favorite? Is it dimes you like, or doesn't it really matter?
Well, I like dimes and quarters. Those are my 2 favorite. I like the smallest denomination I can get, dimes and quarters. I don't mind half dollars. I don't really care for dollars. They take up too much room, and my mentality is more of a prepping mentality with dimes and quarters than the dollars. Silver Mac, hang on, there's a couple other questions real quick. My largest pour, I think, was 38 ounces.
Whoa.
And it was a square. It was really cool. Silver Mac wants to know, how well do I know Pit Bullion? I have been to his house, and we did a pour together. I went to Las Vegas for SHOT Show. In the firearms industry, that's the big gun show where vendors roll out their new product. And I happened to be in Las Vegas, and I Ubered over to his house, and we did a live video together. And we did a series of dual stamp bars together, his stamp and my stamp. So I definitely know Pitt pretty good. So I thought I saw another question.
I think somebody asked what's your favorite pour?
The Tree of Life. My original Tree of Life round. It's about a 3 ounce, 2.5 to 3 ounce round. Unfortunately, I've only ever gotten 3 molds for the original Tree of Life, and I've burned up 2 of them, so I'm down to 1 mold left. So I don't know how much longer I'll be able to pour them.
Well, that's pretty cool. So, you recently did a video on some pours, and one of them you showed how you were kind of antiquing your pours, and I think you used the term European style toning.
The European style stamping.
Stamping. Okay, yeah.
Yes, I've recently stopped. I'm trying to get away from using the generic Impress Art 999 FS stamp, and I've started stamping a lot of my pieces fine silver, spelled FYNSILBER.
Yep.
I really like that spelling of it. It kind of, to me, is old European style spelling, and so. But the toning is just a function of oxidizing the silver with a liver of sulfur.
Is that the only type of product that you would use to tone the silver, or there are different products to do the toning?
You know, it's kind of one of those things that it evolved out of watching other people who weren't making silver pours. It was actually, I found out about it through watching jewelry making videos.
Oh.
And they were toning sterling silver, like bangles and bracelets and stuff. And I thought, well, I mean, if it works for that, it's got to work for pure silver. So,
sure.
And I kind of fumbled around, and I've had some pieces. I did a lion's head one time for I gotta remember her name. I did a lion's head one time that came out just rainbowed. I mean, it had every color: green, red, blue, black, every color in the. And anyway, I did this 3-ounce lion's head, sent it to her, and she raffled it off for a kids cancer charity out in California.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
It was a really neat project to be involved in. But the neat part about liver of sulfur is you never know how it's going to turn out. I've had them turn out completely black, you know, and then I dip the next piece and it comes out, you know, red and blue. And so, you know, and now you can actually kind of tweak it a little bit by adding about a capful of ammonia in the liver of sulfur. That's a little trick that I picked up on one of the jewelry making videos. And heating up the silver, getting the silver, even just running it under hot water, will cause a different effect on the silver. So it's one of those things that you never know, but it's fun to try. And you know, if you don't like it, you can always tumble it or, you know, clean it all off and start over.
So Metal Stacker wants to know, where do you get your molds? So we're gonna ask him, where does he get his molds from, Mrs. TV? I think I hear the sound of crackers.
It could be.
So let's see. Silver Max says if you heat the water up to almost boiling, you can make it solid black. So, oh yeah, man.
There we go. That's what we're hearing the sound of is easy cheese.
Cracker break. Yep.
That's my health food. That's actually dinner tonight. So, boy, and that focuses really well. I should just use that for my screenshot. I have right now about 350 molds.
Really? Wow.
I used to buy a lot of molds, and then I used to buy blank graphite, pieces of blank graphite from Ohio Carbon. And I worked at a gun range with a machine shop, and I would just machine my own bar molds. I haven't made a mold in probably a couple of years because I have Silver Rice or Steve Rice. Note to self: no weed before the live stream. Barbara Carbone, you're probably right. It is pure trash. That's the first easy cheese I've bought in probably since college. And I was going through the grocery store and I had everything I needed. And sure enough, right on an end cap was easy cheese. And I thought, don't do it. You don't need that. And then I blacked out. And then I
woke up with a cart full of cheese?
Well, I came to in my car, and there was this easy cheese in the bag in the passenger seat. And I'm like, how did you get here? And that's all. I don't claim any responsibility. But in fact, I'm going to take that out of the screen before I get Barbara does not seem very happy about that. Okay, Barbara, I promise you, I will not buy that again. I'll stick to my normal sliced cheddar, my aged cheddar. So,
or at least keep it off screen.
It's my secret. It's my secret passion. So, but okay. So going back to the original question, if I were going to buy molds, if I were buying molds today, there's really two mold makers that I have a great deal of respect for. They're both on eBay. One is his name is Patrick, and his eBay, and I don't. This is not a paid promotional or anything, but his handle is Parts for Less 1999. He did my original Tree of Life round, and he's done so many different Tree of Life rounds for me. He is not always the fastest, but he's always got product on eBay. So if you're new to pouring or want to branch out, there's probably something there that you can pick up and play with. And then the other mold maker that I've used in the past is the handle for him on eBay is Child in His Image. And he's done a few custom molds for me, as well as I bought some stock molds. There's really a trick to buying molds. You have to understand that these mold makers, to make any kind of money, they have to make more than one of the same mold. And so you're going to eventually, the community you're going to run into other people pouring the same thing. Unless you go to PMC Supplies and have a $250 custom mold maker, or your MK bars and you can make your own molds, you're going to run into somebody who has the same mold. And it's just kind of one of those things that you have to live with. I'll give you a prime example. So you brought up Backyard Bullion earlier, right?
Yep.
Love Backyard Bullion. I've been with him since his very beginning, since he poured his first bar. I consider us friends. I love watching his videos. I think what he's done is tremendous with his channel, and I think it's just amazing that he's been able to turn it into an income, a way to do things. He has what he calls the twisted pyramid. If you go to his website, you'll see it. And it's it's in the shape of a pyramid, but it's a spiraled. I was pouring that same mold about 2 years ago, and the community called it the F5 pour, because everybody who got one turned it upside down. Because I'm from Oklahoma, it looked like a tornado. So they literally called it the F5 pour, or the tornado pour. And so, and I got on his website the other day, and I saw it, and he had it titled The Twisted Pyramid. And I thought, well, that's really cool, And I know that the mold maker made more than one, obviously more than just one of that mold. And if there were 10 available and 10 sold, that means there's 10 other pourers, or at least another pourer who bought 9 other ones. So if you want to be the only person with a specific mold, either have a custom one made or buy all 10 of the ones that the mold maker made.
Oh.
So, Armando from the Vault, where in Oklahoma? Where in Oklahoma? Where am I in Oklahoma? I'm in my garage.
In a garage in Oklahoma.
I joke. I kid. I'm in Oklahoma City. I'm I live and work in Oklahoma City. I not by necessarily choice. I'm a Michigander by birth, and I will be from Michigan. And I had the wonderful fortune to 22 years ago marry a Texan, and we're still married, but that has limited my locale to live. I used to joke with people that when I met her, she thought the northern border of America was Kansas. But I'm just you know, where I live in Oklahoma City, you know, tornadoes the last few years, we've been really, really, really fortunate. We've been blessed. The tornadoes go down through Moore, or they go up through Edmond. And so we're kind of right in the middle, and they don't seem, you know, I've actually been praying for hail for years now so I could get a new roof. And
really?
it always goes south of us or goes north of us, and it never hits us. And I need a new roof. And you know, I tell people I'm praying for hail, and they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, well, my car's been hit by hail because I was in another part of town when the hail hit, but my house can't get hit by hail.
I remember seeing a special on TV about that tornado that went through Moore. Was that Moore, Oklahoma, a few years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that was devastating, boy.
The 99 tornado.
Was it 99 already?
I think it was 99. Yeah, I was flying. I actually was flying down to Texas because I was living in Texas at the time doing interiors, aircraft interiors. I had my own little shop down there, and a buddy flew down and then flew me back, and we were flying overhead of the area that got hit, and it looked like someone took a giant lawnmower and just mowed willy-nilly throughout the southern part of Oklahoma City. It was breathtaking. It was crazy. So, and Armando, yes, I will be going to the May coin show in Oklahoma City. That's the only coin show I go to. I love it, and I usually spend way more than I guess that's probably true for anybody who goes to coin shows.
Coin shows are cool.
They set a budget and then they blow the budget.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about coin roll hunting because I think that's a interesting topic. A lot of people here do enjoy it, or at least like to watch the videos.
Yeah.
You had some great insight, but why don't we, before we do that, why don't we do our other giveaway? So it's getting pretty close to 10 o'clock, and I know some people are probably gonna want to check out. So this giveaway is going to be let me turn my camera on. Click the wrong thing here. And it doesn't, I got it next to my stickers, and it makes it look really small. So I don't know what I'm doing with my stickers on the screen. But anyway, it's a 1/10 of an ounce Monarch silver round. It's actually kind of cool.
Monarch Precious Metals.
And it's got a little train on it. Not doing a good job of showing it.
Those are so cool.
My thumb's bigger than it, but anyway, we'll go ahead and give that away. And I've got another fantastic question for you guys. So here we go. Let me see. What's my question for this one? Oh, this is a question about Mr. Zeke's channel. So hopefully you guys have been watching that.
Well,
a couple of videos ago, Mr. Zeke put out a video, and I want to know, what was his overall message about, what was he communicating in his Just a Guy in His Garage? What was his overall message during that video? Just a couple words, just kind of curious if anybody took a look and what Mr. Zeke wanted people to know about Just Another Guy. Just a Guy in His Garage video.
His garage.
Yeah, thanks, David. David's been waving the start flag for me. So I was, don't drink and drive. So it's actually right. Yeah, I won't give the clue too quickly. But I'm talking about the phrase that was actually part of the title.
Did Silver Mac get that?
Yeah, there you go. Silver Mac got it. Thanking the community. So
That's
just
right.
just a guy in his garage saying thank you. So that's what I was looking for. Just that overall theme that he was trying to say. Yankee, are you saying? Oh yeah, sorry, Yankee, you did say it above Silver Mac. Thank you.
Don't swim after you eat. Oh my God. I try to do a video like that every once in a while because, as a pourer, it's important, I think, to recognize that people have pretty much an infinite selection to pick from when they are building their stack and when they're adding to their stack. And anytime anyone contacts a pourer or sees something from a pourer and wants to buy it, that is the ultimate it's really the ultimate compliment you could possibly pay to a pourer, is to add a piece of their handmade work to your stack. And I really just wanted to say thank you to the community for the years of people constantly adding the things that I don't have anything that I've poured in my own stack, except for this one, this 190% button that I poured or whatever that was just a fluke. I don't have a single piece of Mr. Zeke stamped poured silver here, because it seems like every time I pour one, as soon as I show it, someone wants it, and that's so it's amazing, and it really does go beyond words. The video didn't do justice for how I really felt, and so, but it was I felt it important that I didn't want anyone to, and especially there's so many new people, and there's a constant influx of new people who discover these channels one way or another, and I never want anyone to think for a split second that I can't speak for all pourers, but that I take any of that for granted. That it really, that's why when I send off a package to somebody, there's always, I try to always include a handwritten note saying thank you in it, because I want them to know that, one, I'm not a 50-man shop, who's mass producing this stuff. Two, I'm on a budget. I'm not ordering 10,000 ounces of silver and there, a semi is backing up, delivering it to my 50,000 square foot workshop. This is truly a one-man, one piece at a time operation. And it's very, very humbling to have someone see what I see, or even something different in a piece that I've poured, enough to buy it. And so, because money is, people work for money. That's their hard-earned money that they're willing to trade you for something that you did. And that's the highest form of appreciation I can think of. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. That's good stuff there, Mr. Zeke.
It's just how I feel. Just one guy talking. So what do you want to know about coin roll hunting?
So last time you gave us some pretty good advice. I've been coin roll hunting over the years. I haven't done it much lately because every time I get a box of halves, I never get any silver in them. But I know they're out there. I watch the videos online, and I know that you can get them. And so I've been trying to talk Mrs. TB into doing some like coin roll hunting challenges with me and stuff. So, but you had some good advice last time about your pickup place versus your drop off place, and Just wondered if you wouldn't mind talking about that a little bit, how to have some tips for having some better coin roll hunting.
Yeah, some strategy that you had that we never even thought about that should really help people with their coin roll hunting.
So the number one problem with coin roll hunting is the number one problem that, as I see it, I should preface everything with as I see it, because this is just one person's perspective, is intestinal fortitude. It's sort of like, telling yourself, I'm going to run a 5K, and the date that there's going to be a 5K, and you've never run in your life, and I'm going to run this 5K. And then you just keep telling yourself, well, tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to start practicing for this 5K. And then tomorrow comes around and something comes up, and I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm serious this time. I'm going to start tomorrow to run this 5K. Or you actually get up and you get to the end of your block and you're winded and you're like, oh man, forget this. This is for the birds. What kind of an idiot gets up at 6 o'clock and runs? This is, this whole 5K idea was just dumb. And never giving it a chance. I think last time I shared the story that I went 26 boxes straight without finding a single piece of silver. 26 $500 boxes.
Wow.
So do the math on how many coins I looked at before
Yeah.
And every week I picked up 2 boxes at the beginning of the week and 2 boxes at the end of the week. And every week I dropped off 2 boxes at the beginning of 2 empty boxes and I dropped off basically 2,000 coins at the beginning of the week and 2,000 coins at the end of the week. And I reached a point, runners call it the wall. I reached a point where I was like, okay, this is just stupid. What am I doing? But then I realized I wasn't out any money.
Right.
I hadn't lost any money. I just lost time. That was it. But I had enjoyed looking for it. It's treasure hunting in a form.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, when I opened box 27 and saw an ender, I almost came out of my chair. And for those of you that don't know, an ender is a silver coin that's at the end of a roll that you see as soon as you open the box. And it was like, okay, it's on. I think I found 26 coins in that box, which if you put in perspective, there's 1,000 coins in that box. I found 26, but you know what? Those were the coolest 26 coins I'd ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And so, not quitting, not giving up. I still do it. And right now I'm on like a 6-box skunk run. But I know eventually I will hit a box with silver. It will happen. But if I quit now, there's absolutely no chance I'll hit that box.
That's true.
Because much like lottery players say, you cannot win if you do not play. Now, I'm not saying play the lottery. That's please don't.
Right.
I don't play the idiot tax. And I apologize if I offend anybody with that statement, but I'd rather buy silver with my money than a lottery ticket. But the whole point is you cannot get a bad box and go, oh, this doesn't work. And do I now here's a controversial question or topic. Do I think there are channels out there that stack rolls? because I had somebody one time make a comment that, that they thought, this channel that I was watching at the time, they had made a comment that, they were basically making their own rolls just to get views.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because they would get quote unquote customer rolls that, all the ends are they're not machine crimp. They're pushed down.
Right.
So I could do that in my garage. And I thought, well, whatever. Who cares? I don't care. I'm not watching this for that reason, But I've seen some pretty incredible stuff. But I can tell you firsthand that I have found commemorative silver $50 in boxes. Washington Carver $50, and several other commemorative that I have in flips in my coin books. The date that I found it, and the box that I found it in. Do I keep track of how many boxes I've gone through? Are you kidding me? I'd stop if I did that.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can find in some of those boxes. It's amazing that they make it into circulation, and it still, amazes me that you can find silver with, especially with how many boxes are being poured through. If you take just the YouTube channels, and you summed all those up in a year, it's just almost amazing you can even find it anymore. But I know it's out there.
I tell you, one of the neatest things that I have found, and it all occurred in one box. And I was doing the coin roll hunt with my 16-year-old. I think he was 14 at the time. We found 12. I mean, these were brilliant, uncirculated 1970 S $50.
Wow.
Yeah, 12 of them in one box. We found the first one. He opened it up, and I saw, as he's opening the roll, I can see this one coin that's like the Holy Grail. It's glowing. And I'm like, that's a 90%er. And he pulled it out, and he goes, now, 1970, that's still, and I said, what? Let me see that. And he handed it to me, and I looked at it, and I could not believe what I was looking at, because I had just had a conversation with the guy who coin roll hunted, and he'd coin roll hunted for 15 years and never found a 1970.
Yeah, 1970s are pretty rare. I've never found one. I'm not even sure I've seen them like at coin shows or anything. I mean, I don't usually buy 40%ers, but yeah, 1970s don't seem to be out there very much.
They didn't make that many, and most of them were for mint sets. And so I just couldn't, I was beside myself. I literally couldn't believe it. And every other roll had a 70 in it.
Wow.
And so, but guess what? Had I given up the box before that and said, I think we're mined out in Oklahoma City. We never would have found that, and somebody else would have. So, but as far as dump banks and buy banks, that's the key to keeping a good relationship. It's all about relationship, and you got to have a good relationship with the banks that you're buying and dumping at, because those boxes weigh 25 pounds a piece.
Oh yeah.
And King's coins there. I found one 1970 $50. It was in my one epic box.
Cool.
Yep. That's and that's how rare they are, and to find 12 in one box was just
amazing.
I couldn't believe it. I just literally was floored. But you got to remember, those boxes weigh 25 pounds a piece. And you're asking tellers to carry a 25-pound box from the vault to the counter. And you're asking them to do it not once, but twice each time you pick up, if you do 2 boxes at a time. So they're doing 50 pounds worth of lifting, but they honestly don't have to do. They could tell you to just blow smoke. They don't order halves for people.
Right, right.
So, there is a little bit of personality. Bella's dad, aka Phil, you rock. That's the best coin hunting right there. Have bank tellers save coins for you. I've yet to be able to do that.
Very cool.
Yeah, I only get a box every probably few months at this point, but I did have my bank call me it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago now and say, hey, some guys just brought in $300 worth of halves. Do you want them? I was like, yeah, that was so cool that she called me. I wanted to take her a little gift or something to say thanks, but I didn't want to be creepy. You know what I mean?
I've done that.
I couldn't really decide what to take her for a little gift to just kind of like I said, keep that relationship going.
Yeah. You have to do that. You have to. I've taken them, I've gone by Walmart on the way there and picked up, from the bakery, a brownie, a platter of all the different kinds of brownies, dropped them off when I, dropped off the coins. In fact, I'm probably due to do that again. You want them to know that you really do appreciate, because when I drop them off, they're having to hoist these 25-pound bags.
Right.
And so they're doing work that they don't have to do. Like I said, your dump bank or your pickup bank, either one of them could tell you to basically, blow smoke, or as the old sign on, not to be crass, but the old sign on Happy Days, sit and spin. I remember that from the opening credits of Happy Days. But yeah, it's it's not, they're not obligated to do anything for you. And so the more kindness you show them, the farther it'll go. And that doesn't always pan out. I went by a bank the other day. I'd never been into this bank before. I walked in and I said, do you guys by chance have any $50? And the lady was a banker, and she's like, I don't know, let's go check. And so they went, and the vault teller had left for the day. She left at 2. I want vault teller hours, because they get there at like 7 and leave at 2. But come to find out, they had $1,300 and $50 in their vault. And I was like, oh man, I've hit a gold mine. And the teller behind the counter, not the banker, the teller was like, if you're looking for silver, there's no silver in there. And she was very stern. And I said, okay, well, I just like to look through coins. And she said, well, these have all been gone through. And she reiterated this like 10 times. Not exaggerating, 10 times. But, and I could have very easily said, well, never mind then. Or, I could have come back with some kind of snippy remark about, oh, really? Well, did you know 65 through 70 are silver too? Because there's a lot of people that don't know that. Well, I came by on this was on a Friday. I came by on Monday, and she said, well, I can only sell, because you're not a member of the bank, I can only sell you $500. And I said, I'm very appreciative that you would even sell me $500. And that same teller was there, and she was like, and there's no silver in there. And I was like, and I appreciate that. I mean, she was like on it. She's like, if there's ever silver in there, we always give it back to the customer. One of the tellers buys it. And you know what? She was right. There wasn't a single silver coin in there. And that didn't hurt my feelings. She warned me. I took my chance. But I smiled at her. I was nice to her. Mm-hmm. Because, whatever her reasoning for being the way she was, she had her reasons. Maybe she wanted to discourage me from coming back. Well, guess what? I can't come back, because the vault teller made it very clear that unless I was a member, that was all they were ever going to sell me. So kill them with kindness. Go out of your way to be respectful and helpful, and that's the Stacking Nerd says, none of my local banks carry them. I think this is someone else's turf. None of my banks carry them either. I have to have them ordered.
Yeah, I have to order mine too.
My dad, my folks live down in Florida, and he went into his bank because I was going down there for vacation. And he wanted to coin roll hunt with me. He thought it sounded like fun, and I was like, dude, I'll front you the cash, and we'll go through a couple boxes while I'm down there. And his bank kind of gave him the runaround a little bit. They said, well, you have to order at least 2 boxes. And he was all depressed, and he called me, and I said, Dad, I do 4 boxes a week. That's fine. And so he called the bank the next day and was like, yeah, no, we're good for 2 boxes. And they went ahead and ordered them, and there was a quote unquote miscommunication, and they ordered 2 boxes of dollar coins.
Oh.
And the bank was very understanding. They were like, we understand this isn't what you ordered. We're very sorry, but I was only there for a week, and the next delivery wouldn't have been until next week. So we didn't get to do it. But in Bella's dad, AKA Phil, man, that's a long title. I'm just going to call you Phil. Anyway, Phil, you're absolutely right. A lot of banks, my family bank, the bank that we bank at as a family, refuses to order half dollars. And they're very adamant about it. And there's a reason why. Because of turd buckets who will go pick them up, hunt them, and take them right back. And then they have to pay Brinks or Loomis or whoever by the pound to haul them away. And they've been burned enough times to where they just won't do it anymore. And so that's why when I went to the order bank, I made it very clear. I said, you will never see these half dollars again. I have a separate bank that I'm going to use to drop them off at. It's not even a different branch of your bank. It's a completely separate bank. And they were fine with that. And I did the same thing with my dump bank. I said, I went in before I opened the account and told them exactly what my intentions were. I'm going to look through I'm going to look through boxes of half dollars, and I'd like to open an account with your bank just to drop the coins off with. And they were completely fine. They said, you know what? It's $7.95 for a checking account. You pay that, you can drop off all the coins you want. And I was like, you're going to eat those words, but okay. So, but it's about building relationships, and it's about being honest and upfront right off the bat. If you try to be sneaky, it's going to bite you. They're going to catch on real quick.
I need to, my problem is dumping them. I tend to put them all back in the roll, and that takes a lot of time. I've just been kind of afraid to take in a bag and dump them, but I need to, if I could get that part of the process down, I'd be much more likely to pick them up and, if I could just dump them back in a box or a bag.
My dump bank does not want them rolled. So I go to Harbor Freight and I buy the little black cotton mechanics bags.
Okay.
They're like $5 a piece. And you can fit a whole box of half dollars in one of those mechanic bags. And, they've got kind of a hard bottom in them. And that's what I use. I take the 2 mechanics bags and drop them off at my dump bank, and they pour them out of the mechanics bags into their machine.
Is just a machine behind the counter? Is it like a coin counting machine for customers to use, or what is it?
I don't know. I do it in the drive-thru. I use the commercial drive-thru, and I just put it in the drawer. I put 1 bag in the drawer at each time, and because I have to drop them off before I have to be to work by the time they're open. So their drive-thru is the only part that's open, and they've never really given me any flack about using that drive-thru. So, maybe I'm just really, really fortunate that I have the banks that I have, but I feel bad for the people that in the community that they live, that none of the banks are willing to work with them. I have known people who went on road trips and hit up these small country banks. That was one of the best banks I ever hit, was a bank in northern Oklahoma in a town called Cushing. And I just pulled in. It's a small town. And pulled in one morning. I was visiting a friend, and the drive-thru said, hey, do you guys have any 50-cent pieces? And turned out the vault teller was thrilled to sell me all $300 worth that had sat in the safe for 20 years.
Oh, man.
Oh, I was pulling Franklins and Walkers and 64 Kennedys. It was obscene. Armando's taking off. We'll see you later, buddy.
Yeah, we need to let you guys go. So thank you, Mr. Zeke, for all your knowledge. And, the coin roll hunting just excites me because we know it's out there. And spending some time looking through those coins, I like the thrill of the hunt. I'll tell you, it's pretty exciting, especially when you find something. So thanks for giving us some more tips on that. We appreciate it.
Anytime, my friends, anytime. Thank you so much for having me back.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you joining us tonight. We appreciate you hanging in there. And we hope to see you again next week. And everybody, have a good night tonight.
Have a good night.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.